Hey guys, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. This is Danish. I'm here with Amanda. Right now, I'm in Colombia. Amanda is in the New York. We would love to know where you guys are in the world. It's always a good to start to warm up. And I will be sharing some resources with you guys, the incredible resources in a few minutes. We are still waiting 1 minute or 2 minutes so our other brothers and sisters can join. So till then, please share where are you guys right now, and there will be a poll as well which you can answer, like we are asking you, when are you planning to move to Thailand? So guys, I will share my screen and share one or two resources with you, which is going to be incredible for moving abroad or anywhere in the world or start a business. So the first resource I want to share is called Visadb.io. It's an internet visa database. I am the founder. I created this project. This project is funded by European Union and many other global organizations. You can read about it. What this project or resource is doing is actually a index of global visas based on your citizenship. So you can go there and you can find all the visas, business visas, digital nomad visas, entrepreneur visas, anywhere in the world. And when you click on it, it tells you the requirement of that visa, what is the eligibility, and what are the documents required. And also we show you the cost of living compared to your home country, so you can see if it's a better country to move, and save money. And also you can see how many expats from your country or other countries are living there. This feature is still we are building. So check this out. Second thing is that here you can find the global visa and immigration experts like Amanda. So you can go there. We have a lot of services from around the world, and you can search any country. For example, let's say Thailand, and you can see Amanda's service popped up here. She offered a lot of services, incredible services, which you can hire. And not only the visa services, but she also offers relocation services in any of the cities in Thailand. So Amanda is just incredible. She's here with us, and you'll ask a lot of questions with her. But you can browse her service and click on the service and click chat. That will initiate a chatting with Amanda and your inquiry and your case. So please check this out. And second resource, of course, these are the supporter of our community webinars. They are free webinars where we invite specialists like Amanda. So check them out. They have incredible products. Half of the community use their insurances. I'm currently on this insurance as well. So it's incredible service. So let me get back to our webinar. I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I want to introduce our amazing Amanda. So Amanda is the founder and the CEO of Settle in Abroad, which is a business in Thailand. She's originally from New York and have been living in Thailand for the last 6 years. So she knows everything in Chiang Mai, which is the hub for it's like a mecca for digital nomads, and everybody make a pilgrimage to Thailand when they start their journeys. So incredible. We all love Thailand. So Amanda here is with us. Amanda, thank you very much, and we really, really welcome you to our community.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yay. So Amanda, I will start right straight into it. I will jump
Yep.
into it. Why Thailand? Why digital nomads? And to be honest, everyone in the world have obsession with Thailand in Asia. First, let's start with that.
Yeah, well, Thailand's a wonderful place, number one, because of the cheap cost of living. That's a huge reason that digital nomads come to Thailand. Second, the most important part, I think, when deciding to move to a country is safety. Thailand's incredibly safe. You never hear about robberies or violence or anything. All you hear about is people getting things returned that they lost, which is crazy. Like, that's not normal for most of the world.
No.
And especially for women, Thailand's really safe as well. The culture is really safe. So solo female travelers, it's a wonderful place to start your journey as well and maybe never leave. So that's great. And also for digital nomads, the phone and Wi-Fi connectivity is incredible, better than most places in the world. Like a phone plan, like unlimited data is like 15 USD per month. And Wi-Fi, like with speeds the US has never seen, is about $20 per month. So it's really amazing. You can live on your own in your own apartment, no roommates, and get your work done. And also there's so many nice co-working spaces throughout the country.
Oh my God, you just every point you mentioned it made me excited and goosebumps because this makes digital nomads or people who wants to become a digital nomad high because these all the points you mentioned. We will get into cost of living at the end of it as well in more detail. And but you mentioned safety, weather, cost of living, internet speed, and also some sort of like a freedom of to get your own place and focus on your projects, right? That's
Yep.
I think it's a huge right now. I'm here, I'm living alone, doing my yoga, focusing on my projects. So great points. Amanda, my second question would be, what are the current restrictions in Thailand right now if someone wants to travel? I know they keep changing, but what do you think the current travel restrictions
So
are?
right now you can enter Thailand by Phuket or Bangkok. If you are vaccinated with the COVID-19 vaccine, you can enter via the Phuket sandbox and you have to do a 7-day quarantine. But it's a relaxed quarantine, meaning you just get tested once you arrive at the airport and you only have to stay in the hotel for 1 day until you get that negative COVID test result. And then you are free to go around the city, the resort, and enjoy your time. And then you just have one more COVID test in that 7-day window. And once that's negative, you're good. And then you also have an option if you are vaccinated for a 7-day quarantine in Bangkok. And that's don't leave the hotel in there for 7 days. And then if you are not vaccinated, you have to do a 10-day quarantine only in Bangkok. Tomorrow, we're actually seeing if there's new updates because of the Omicron variant, but we'll post it on our Settle and Abroad Instagram or Facebook or social media, and we're up to date with everything. And there's one important thing. It's called the Thailand Pass. That's what you need to submit. You have to upload certain documents and you need to get this QR code to be able to enter the country. And you have to do that at least 7 business days before departure. And this is a service we help with as well.
Declining trend? Is there a declining trend in Thailand? Because everywhere this is happening in the world, I guess.
Yeah, and this community, the digital nomad community and foreigner community in Thailand, the past 2 years of the pandemic, it's still been strong. Of course, there's less people, but the community is really always there. It's been amazing.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing. So my second question would be, let's imagine a beautiful world where things are normal and people can travel. And mostly our community members are from United States, United Kingdom, and European countries, majority 80% of them. So if they have to travel to Thailand, what are their first visa option? I think we can start with travel visas, I guess.
Yeah, tourist visa. Yep. So all those countries you mentioned, for the most part, can get a 30-day visa on arrival. So that means you don't have to have a visa. You just arrive in Thailand, you get a 30-day stamp, and then you can extend that for another 30 days at the immigration in country pretty easily. So that's step one.
Okay, yeah. That's the step one. And what if people want to live longer than the 60 days you mentioned?
Yep, there's many long-term visas in Thailand. That's also one great thing. There's many different ones. You don't have to do just one. So there's the Thai education visa where you would learn the Thai language. So every city in Thailand has different Thai language schools, and you would have to attend class 2 days a week for 2 hours. And it's a very informal way to learn the language. And it's a really great way to start in Thailand because knowing the language is the best way to get to know locals, of course.
Wow. And how long this visa last and how much roughly the government fees for this student visa?
Yeah, 1 year. And then with the Thai education visa, you can renew for a second year. And the costs change because with COVID, people have been getting the visa in country. Before COVID, it used to be standard, like you enter Thailand on a tourist visa, you get paperwork from the school, and then you would go to Laos or Myanmar somewhere and get that 1-year visa stamp and re-enter Thailand. But with COVID, they've been doing everything in country. So basically, a 1-year visa is between 1,000 and 2,000 USD. And
Mhm.
recently getting them in country, they've made the prices a little more expensive because you don't have to leave. So right now it's looking at about 1,500 to 2,000 USD for a 1-year visa, like the Thai education visa.
Wow, I think it's a good option for people who don't
Yep.
want to do the visa runs, and they can just, okay, 1 year I'm here, I can lease an apartment and live there. So
Yep.
I think it's a good option, and as you mentioned, so and you also offer the service to get the
Yes,
visa.
absolutely. So our company can be the liaison between you and the school and help with all the immigration paperwork. So you get that stamp with no worries.
Wow, this is incredible. This
Mhm.
is ideal for our younger digital nomads who would like to stay longer in Thailand.
Mhm.
And what about the second other visa options? So travel visa is one, of course, then student visas, and then what other visa
Yeah.
options do you have?
So another student visa is actually the Muay Thai visa. So it's that you learn Muay Thai, Thai boxing. So it's the same, like you go to
Okay.
class 2 days a week for 2 hours, same process as the education visa. And that's a really awesome way to just plan your exercise and get a visa out of it.
Wow. And
Yeah.
that visa also is like a similar 1 year,
Yeah.
$2,000.
Yep. And in that price, it includes the like cost of the classes and everything. All right, so I'll move on to the next visa as his screen's a little bit frozen. So a third visa option is the Smart Visa. So this is a great visa option for digital nomads. The Smart S, which stands for startup. First, you can get a 6-month Smart S, which is the closest thing to the digital nomad visa in Thailand. So what you need is to submit a business plan and a pitch deck for a startup idea in Thailand. And for the 6-month Smart S, the reason that this is the closest thing to a digital nomad visa is that you just submit an idea. You don't actually have to have a business yet or make a technology. It's just an idea. So this startup idea has to benefit Thailand and then use technology. So at minimum, you have to be making an app. So for the 6-month one, you can apply for this outside of Thailand or in the country. And then once you get that approval, you're good for 6 months. And this gives you a working visa. And because it's a startup visa, you can work on other projects that are not exactly the same as what you submitted. It's quite a broad visa. So then if you are looking to stay in Thailand longer, you can extend this Smart S to 2 years, but you do have to set up a Thai company and actually make this app idea that you presented. And we are super specialized in the Smart Visa and partnered with the Board of Investment in Thailand to help you with this whole process. Because this Smart Visa is honestly, I think, the best visa in the world right now. And especially Thailand, it's a really flexible business visa to allow you to legally work in Thailand. Yeah.
Wow, this is incredible. I'm sorry, maybe I paused there, but so I did not know this. I actually have utilized startup visas in Chile and in Poland, and I did not know that there's a startup visa in Thailand. That really excited me. So just an idea, you get the 6 months visa, and then you incorporate a company with your help, and you extend that visa to another 1.5 years.
It's another 2 years.
Another 2 years.
Yep.
Incredible, Amanda. Wow. And you also mentioned, Amanda, can you tell us a little bit about, you mentioned that it's similar to digital nomad visa. Is there a digital nomad visa in Thailand today?
There is not. And we have no idea the future. There's a lot of articles that come out about Thailand's digital nomad visa, but we don't know the future of the digital nomad visa. The Smart Visa seems like it will become an official digital nomad visa, but there's no timeline on it. So the Smart S is the only option right now for that.
Okay. So I will ask you again the question around smart visa. So what is a smart visa, and are there different types of smart visas for Thailand?
Yep. So Thailand came up with a Smart Visa program to help tech talent move to Thailand. So there's 5 different types: Smart I, Smart T, Smart S, Smart O, and the other one I forget at the moment. But the Smart S is most applicable to people because you can set up your own company. Like the Smart T is only if a Thai company hires you specifically for a tech role. So the whole Smart Visa is for tech people, but the Smart S, even if you're not a developer or anything, you can still get approved for it as long as you have a developer on your team. So that's why it's quite flexible. Like even if you're a consulting group or a marketing agency, if you have a good app idea, the Smart S could be for you, even if you aren't a developer.
Oh my gosh. To be
Yeah.
honest, this is the first time, including me and my community, is learning the different visa options because we only knew visa
Yep.
first run. So
Yep.
I'm so happy that you like explaining everything. So you
Yep.
mentioned some type of visas and smart ass. It sounds smart ass.
Yep.
Is the most ideal.
Yep.
What about the other types?
Yeah.
Are they for investors?
Yeah, Smart I is for investment. So if you invest like 1 million baht, which is about 30,000 USD in a startup for tech in Thailand, there's specific ones they have to be endorsed by the Thai government. That is an option, and that's a 4-year visa. So yeah, it's pretty amazing. And the other smart visa is Smart E. That's for smart executive, but that's not really that applicable because you have to be hired as an executive of a Thai tech company. So really the Smart I and the Smart S are what you have more control of because you don't have to be hired by a Thai company or something.
Wow, this is a literally amazing knowledge here. So 4 years for a smart investment visa, and do you roughly know the cost of the government fee?
Yeah, the government fees are actually very low for the Smart Visa. You pay like for per year. So 1 year is 20,000 baht, which is about 600 USD. So it's really reasonable. So like the 2-year Smart Visa, you actually only pay $600 for that 2 years. And that 2 years can actually be renewed again and again. There's no time limit. So as long as you keep your company active, pay your taxes, do the app idea you said you would, you can keep extending it. And also the Smart Visa, the Smart O is the dependent visa. So your whole family could get on this visa, which is incredible for families.
Wow. This is wow, I didn't know. So it like your kids and wife or spouse or even common law partner will join you, will accompany you in that visa.
Yep.
Wow, this is incredible. So surprisingly, we do have a lot of digital nomad families as well, which is kudos to them. So they can definitely enjoy this type of visa. So smart visas, student visas, and travel visas.
Yep.
Are there any visas for retirees? Because we have a lot of young retirees.
Yep, there's a retirement visa. You have to be 50 years or older. And with that, you have to prove 800,000 baht, which is about 25,000 USD. You have to keep that in the Thai bank account the whole time. So that's the only downfall of that. And also the elite visa, which anyone of any age can have, there's a 5-year, 10-year, 20-year one, and the 5-year one starts at 20,000 USD. So it's basically a lot of retirees choose between retirement or elite because it's either you basically keep 20,000 plus in a Thai bank account or you just pay that to get 5 years. So
that's incredible.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. What is the elite visa for Thailand and what are the requirements for that?
Yeah, the elite visa is basically just pay money and you get visa stamps and don't have to worry about a thing. That's really what it is. And anyone can apply for it. And almost all countries can apply for that as well. And you just have to pay. That's basically it.
Okay. And how much you have to pay and what is the validity of the visa?
Yeah, so the 5-year one is $20,000. So that's the cheapest one. And then the 10-year one is $30,000. And these you can renew. So it's basically a worry-free visa. Even when immigration things change, that one's going to stay the same and you don't have to worry about anything. And it's multiple entry as well. So if you go back and forth between countries, you're set.
Wow. This is, again, we did not have knowledge for this visa. It's an incredible, Amanda. Thank you very much. You covered. We only have 9 minutes left. So I really want to quickly ask you questions around other things and maybe our attendees might have some questions for you. So I would ask you the first question. So visa is amazing. What is the quality of life you also mentioned is incredible. What about the healthcare and general environmental issues in Thailand?
Yeah, the healthcare is wonderful as well. Of course, it's best to have insurance, at least accident insurance, but like inpatient insurance isn't completely required because the cost of living is low and so is the healthcare. The healthcare costs are low and the healthcare quality is really high and great. So, for example, like if you just need to see a doctor, you would go into any hospital open 24 hours, and it's about $15. That would include seeing a doctor and getting prescription. You'd get your medication right in the hospital. Like being from the US at first, I was shocked. Like, even if I have like a bad cold, I would go to the emergency room. Like I could go there Saturday at 2 a.m. and it's not weird. And you see a doctor right away, get what you need. I think it's wonderful that you don't like things don't close on Sundays. Like there's always somewhere you can go. And same thing with dental care. It's so great. Like you don't need dental insurance. The teeth cleaning is $30 and it's better than I've ever had in the US. Like your gums don't even bleed. Like the dentist actually does the teeth cleaning, not like the dental assistant. Like it's great. They're doing things right in the medical field in Thailand for sure.
Well, we can see your teeth, Amanda. So it's amazing. So smiley. So,
thank you.
So Amanda, so healthcare is incredible. 24-hour hospitalization and quality is higher. Of course, you have a benchmark of the United States. So which surprises me because Thailand, we wouldn't consider it like a first world developed country, but still the healthcare you were saying is top notch.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
And quickly, I will ask you one question. What about the cost of living? Is it a good place to, move and work on your projects?
Yes, certainly. So for foreigners, I would say like the minimum you would live on is probably 1,000 USD per month total, like including your rent, your food, and of course, depending on your lifestyle and alcohol intake, etc., that can raise. And the cities throughout Thailand have different costs of living. Like the beaches and Bangkok are more expensive than Chiang Mai, for example. But the standard cost of living is between 1,000 and 3,000 USD per month. And if you have 3,000 USD per month, like you're living like royalty, you are set. And one thing I love telling people about Thailand is it's cheaper to eat out than it is to cook. So that's the best thing. So you don't even have to cook. Yeah.
Wow. That reminds me of looking for a small room for $1,800 in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Okay. Wow. So the other question I wanted to ask you is that, so cost of living is good, health quality is good, there's several visa options people have. And what would be the best city in Thailand to move as a digital nomad?
Yeah, Chiang Mai for sure. I've been living in Chiang Mai for 6 years, but Chiang Mai is like the official digital nomad hub because there's so many co-working spaces. And it's a place where you can be relaxed and be a bit serious. Like Chiang Mai is a medium-sized city. It's the second largest city in Thailand after Bangkok. And it's a beautiful city surrounded by mountains. So it's easy to get around. Like in 20 minutes, you can get anywhere, which is incredible. You're not sitting in traffic. So that's one thing. Like if you're really trying to get work done, like you could live in one part of the city and then on your motorbike get somewhere in 20 minutes. And same thing like with seeing friends and meetups, like there's a city center, but then if you live outside like 10 minutes, it's not like suburbs, like it's right there. So that's a great option. And usually there's like co-working events and things in Chiang Mai.
Sure. So Chiang Mai, of course, is the most famous for digital nomads. Yep. Is there any other second favorite city which has a beach, for example?
Yeah. So I would say like Phuket or Koh Samui are really popular. Of course, they have great internet connection as well. So a lot of digital nomads just go between Thailand. Like if they're there for a month or 3 months, they might spend a month in Phuket, a month in Bangkok, a month in Chiang Mai. Like Bangkok is wonderful too. I would live there only if I had to. Like I love visiting it, but that's because I'm from New York and I wasn't moving to Thailand to live in another big city. But if you do want to live in a big city, maybe for the first time, Bangkok really is a wonderful place because yes, you can still live on your own and there is public transportation. Of course, there's many co-working spaces too. So it might not be a bad idea. A lot of people usually fly in internationally to Bangkok and maybe start their journey there.
Wow, this is incredible. So Amanda, the questions I asked, some of the questions were submitted to me by attendees. I maybe if anybody or any one of you have any questions, please feel free to type. We have very few minutes left, but I would like to give a chance to Amanda. Amanda, we would love to know your services, what kind of services you offer, and yeah, if you could give us some details about that.
So basically, anything you need to do anything in Thailand, I have a service for. So any of these visas we mentioned and any we didn't mention as well, we can assist you with. We can assist company setup. We can help you get insurance. We can help you find accommodation. So we have like a digital nomad package where we can help set up your pre-departure assistance, set up your accommodation. We can set that up even before you arrive, can help you negotiate the rent and sign the lease even before you get there, because that's sometimes quite stressful, especially with negotiating rent. And we can even have a motorbike rental with the key waiting for you, pick you up from the airport, your Wi-Fi and SIM cards already set up. So once you land, you're good to start working. Yeah. And also, we haven't talked about this much, I also help people get English teaching positions. So if you're a native English teacher, I can help you get a teaching position anywhere in Thailand. And salaries are about 1,000 USD per month. So as other Asian countries go, Thailand's salary is quite low, but it's enough to make money and live there. So if you're going to teach in Thailand, you're not going to save a lot, but you can live abroad and then travel and just have enough to live, basically.
Wow. So I totally forgot that was the main topic, but of course, there's so many incredible visas, we got busy in them. So let me make one question around this English teaching. So can you please tell us how you can help digital nomads to get an English teaching job? How much does it pay and how long do they have to apply to you?
Yep. So at minimum, you need a bachelor's degree to teach in Thailand, because to get the non-B visa and work permit, the government makes sure you have a bachelor's degree, but that can be in any subject. It doesn't have to be education, and you don't have to have a lot of teaching experience. So the school year in Thailand starts in May, and then it goes May to October with a month break, and then November to March. So the real hiring time is in March and April and like September and October. So those are the best chances to get a teaching job. Usually there are positions available throughout the year, but if you're really planning ahead, it's best to do that. And schools make you sign basically a year contract unless you arrive at the second semester. They would just give you a 6-month contract, but they don't have major penalties if you need to leave the country. They just know what happens when they hire foreigners. Something happens to their family, they have to leave. It's fine. They usually don't have a crazy policy. They just want some advance notice. Yeah. So it's usually a great way for people to start their journey in Thailand, especially maybe if you just graduated college and you don't have a lot of savings yet, you can at least get to Thailand and then also maybe figure out your remote job a bit while you're there too.
Wow. So two questions, follow-up questions. Yeah. How many hours do people have to work for how much money? And it's in-person. These are in-person classes.
Correct. They're in person. So it's like a full work day, like depending on the school, like 7:45 a.m. arrival and 4 p.m. departure. But the good thing is, like, I taught English for 2 years when I first came to Thailand. Like, you leave at 4 and you're done. Like, you're not doing work at home. And in the day, you're usually only teaching like 20 teaching hours per week. So that might be like 3 hours on a Monday, and then you have the whole day. Some schools allow you to leave when you're not teaching. Others make you stay in the office. But personally, that's when I started creating Settle and Abroad, when I had that off time sitting in the office. So if someone's looking for a remote job or wanting to write a blog, like, it's great to use that time for that. And Thailand's a very relaxed setting. Like, naps are culturally acceptable. So when I was teaching, everyone in the office had a little pillow, and that was not a weird thing to do. So
my country, I will wrap up. I know the time is over. We have some more questions, but I will ask, do locals understand English?
Oh, yeah. So, of course, it depends which city. Like Chiang Mai and Bangkok in the south, they have many tourists. So you can get by with English in Thailand. And especially if you plan on teaching, even if you were fluent in Thai, they wouldn't want the students to know that because they want the immersive English environment. So, of course, it's easier to get close to locals when you know Thai, but it is by no means necessary to know it to move there.
And it's for everyone. It's for every nationality or only natives?
Only natives. There's sometimes positions for non-native English speakers in more rural areas in Thailand, but for the most part, Thailand wants native English speakers.
Makes sense. So, so Amanda, I would wrap up, but I really want to show my gratitude on behalf of my community for 140,000 digital nomads, who, of course, we want to thank you for your time, and the knowledge you share was just incredible. And we recorded this session for our members who will watch it later. And we will also make small videos for everyone in the community so we can recycle this incredible knowledge. So guys, if you need to hire Amanda and her, I think 20 different services, like anything in Thailand you need, Amanda is the answer. So if you go on visadb.io and you search Thailand, you will see all pages filled up with Amanda's services. And after today's session, I will request Amanda to add other services which maybe they're not there, English teaching and investor visas. So if you need to hire, link has been shared already. Click on it, browse her services, click chat. It will trigger a conversation with her. And then, of course, Amanda can accept or request your request and continue with your case. So, Amanda, once again, thank you very much. Enjoy New York and have a safe travel back to Thailand.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Okay, goodbye.